Shut up and sit down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. You're listening to the Alpha 5 podcast. We appreciate you being here with us on the second episode. Fellas, what's going on? I'm sitting here with John.
What up?
Jonah.
What up?
Fabian.
Yes.
I'm Frank. And Ray should be joining us at some point. We'll let y'all know when he's available. It's for us, it's Wednesday. That's when we record. We get together. It's late. It is 9:10. It's a lot later for us than normal.
Yeah.
I mean, would you agree, fellas?
No, we usually start about
pretty
at least the hour before we started now, but it's cool.
Yeah, y'all got the energy. Are we gonna be here for our audience?
Oh, we lit.
Oh, yeah.
No worries.
I need a drink. I'm not
I
gonna
don't know
lie.
if the
but
audience is ready for us.
That's why I'm sipping.
There's a 12-pack coming.
Is it? Oh, is there?
Oh,
Rebecca's hooking it up.
Yeah.
About to get litty on a Wednesday.
I
wife
need one
is
of
the
those.
best.
I need like
It's about to go
she's coming through clutch.
Oh, yeah, she is clutch.
MVP status right
She's
there.
clutch. So that's a good thing.
Y'all have a good week.
I had a good
mean,
week. I'm
since the last
tired
pod.
of this rain. I'm tired of the cold weather. I'm ready for it to get nice out. But my week was
Word.
Oh,
good.
that's right. Well, all right.
Yo.
Happy Mother's Day to all of the ladies who are mothers listening to us right now.
we're happy belated
Belated
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Belated
Word.
Mother's
You know what
Day,
I'm saying?
right? I mean,
Appreciate all the moms. We couldn't be here without you.
Word.
Facts.
Nah,
Yo,
neither could the kids.
Can I say something, man, real quick, man? Yo, why my wife set me up?
What?
She so her school has I mean, I don't know if she's good. She set me up because it's a good thing, but career day. Without even asking me whether I wanted to be part of it or not, she told the counselor who's in charge of career day, was like, "Oh yeah, my husband will do it. He'll love to come here with his drones and show everybody how to like, show the kids about drones and what he does with the drones."
Bro,
Wifey's volunteering you for shit.
How long you been married?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
So a couple
I think
years.
we're going on. I think this year's 3 years.
When's your anniversary?
July 18th.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be 3 years. Yes, I was there. Yeah. So you act like it's new just to be told you're doing something rather than asked you're doing something.
Damn, but a career day? Like, can you ask me if I want to do
Dude,
it?
take it as a compliment. Your wife is telling you that you have a career worth talking about.
No, I'm not mad about it. I'm
It
just
Don't
sounded
volunteer me for
like-
nothing I ain't know about.
It sounded like
you
a complaint.
I wasn't complaining. I'm actually excited for it. Like, I'm excited for it for two reasons. Because one, I mean, these are kids, but I want to see if I'm okay with public speaking. You know what I'm saying? Like being on a stage, like even though these are kids, like being on stage and like talking to a group of people.
Just don't fly a drone into some little boy head.
Nah, they won't let me.
Like-
I'm trying to get them to let me be outside, to go outside and do all that.
Oh, that takes orchestration for these little kids, bro. I don't know. See, I've got a legitimate reason to be upset. My wife decided that she wanted to buy a damn lawn table set up, right? Like one, I don't even know
like a
what the
lawn
fuck's
chair.
called.
With
whatever.
the umbrella and
That whole noise.
Uh-huh.
I told her I didn't want nothing to do with it.
Why?
Because I already had to pay for it. I didn't want to. Figure it out.
Hold on. So you telling me you don't want it because you had to pay for it?
No. I said I didn't want nothing to do with it.
Meaning, I don't want to go with you. I don't want to pick it out. Don't ask me what color I should get. Here's the money.
Yeah, pretty much. And here's your forget not just here's your money, but here's your budget first.
So why the fuck are you upset about it?
Because I ended up having to go pick the thing up today. It was supposed to be Her.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's
She's
his
taking the truck,
responsibility.
doing all that. Like this is your situation.
I don't know. She did the hardest part. That's the worst part. I don't know if I like this color. I don't know. This will go better with the deck.
No.
All you have to do is just pick it up. I mean, that doesn't seem too bad to me.
I had to take an hour and a half of my time to go pick this thing up.
Oh, my time.
Women don't care about
No. It's you married. It's
They
your
really
time.
don't.
Together.
It's
our time.
Listen,
It's your
care.
There ain't no your time no more.
They
That shit's
don't
done
care,
with.
bro.
My ass is done with. I need my time. She needs her time. I am perfectly fine as long as we are in the same house. I don't talk to you for hours.
I don't know.
And she is perfectly okay with that. Her damn self too. I will tell you that.
I tell you what. When it comes to furniture, and John probably knows, that is your time.
Listen,
that is a couple's decision.
I love my wife, but she was on some conniving shit with this one because it was a setup. It was a setup. Oh, maybe you could go. You know, if I cover you at the shop early enough, maybe you can go. Maybe he could be there.
That's why you have to say things.
She played it up
I know
well,
what you're doing.
too.
You have to call the bullshit out when right there. Hey, I see what you're doing.
And she made it look. Oh, look, he's like 2 miles away from the house. Along that path though, there was like 4 traffic lights, a fucking circle. Like, it was. I had to take the glass top to this damn thing. It was no. It was nerve wracking.
Don't ever let them know that you on your way back from somewhere. Oh, you over there? Can you just stop
pick
over
up
here?
something
else? Man.
Oh, I shouldn't have fucking said anything.
I had this glass tabletop in the back of my truck. I was waiting to hit a bump and crack it because then it would have been my fault, right? Oh, you should have insulated it better or whatever the case may be.
I'd have been happy. That's what you get.
I would have just
No, because then I would have had to buy another one.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah, dude, nah.
You better collect some bottles, nigga. You better start a GoFundMe for that shit.
Shit.
Because I didn't want to go get it.
Right, I'm gonna reach out to our listeners. Please help me.
I'm about to start a GoFundMe account.
Bleeding dry here. Now I gotta get a grill tomorrow because we want to like have people over and do that whole social thing.
Yeah, I gotta get a grill too.
Yeah, but once you have the grill, then you gotta have people over to use the grill.
I find that kind of disappointing.
I like the
how
grill.
black you are and you still don't have a grill yet in your new house.
I mean, I only been here like 2 weeks. Can I like sit you? I don't know, man. We didn't get there
I feel
yet.
like that's just a must.
We'll get there. I love grilling. As a man, I don't like cooking in the kitchen, but put me out there with some fire. Oh man, I'm a different.
I like
dude.
fire. I don't know if I like grilling.
I think that's just in our natures as men. Like,
Yeah.
we just love to grill.
I love it. It's my favorite.
We
I
won't
love
cook in the
fire.
kitchen. Forget all that.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
unless we have to.
Yeah, give me
But
some beer
on
outside.
the grill,
On
the grill, don't let no female get to the grill.
Man,
I don't let Rebecca.
Damn.
You know what? This is like a general life thing. I think for me, what kills it the time that everything takes. I feel like I grossly either underestimate, right, or just completely lose track of, and that's part of what feeds in for me as to why I don't necessarily like grilling. Because you throw that burger on. All right, whatever. It's cooking. You're cooking a couple. Then all of a sudden, somebody else, oh, let me get some more shit. I got to make more.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you stuck at the damn grill for the last 4 hours. You ain't talked to not a person unless they come up to you really looking for food, but talking to you to make you feel good about the fact that you're the one cooking the food. They have that little small talk. They take their cheeseburger. Oh, do you know if there's ketchup? And then they walk away, right? Because that was their out. They knew there was ketchup.
Yeah.
They ain't never no damn barbecue that ain't got no ketchup, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
But that was just where is it so that they could go to it, and then they have the out to the conversation.
Yeah.
That's how that shit works.
I agree.
And
care.
nobody can lie to you, about that.
I don't
That
care.
noise.
I enjoy that
is
shit.
the reason why you need to invite your boys when that happens, and you have a backup griller. So you got to step away for a little bit. You got to do what you got to do. Grab a beer, go do something. Yeah, take over.
Man,
Nah, I'm good, man.
Get fuck on my face. I ask you to grill at my house, bro. You're gonna be there for 5 seconds and then be looking for me with eyes wide to come back to that grill. Fuck
Yeah.
out of here, bro.
But I actually enjoy that.
That's right. I'll burn the shit out of everything in your house, and I would have to grill again. How about that?
Yeah, I actually
Pull a
enjoy
Fabio.
that.
That's right. Just like the dishes.
It's fun because I don't know. I'll sit up there. I'll put my speakers outside. I'll
Yeah.
get like a pack of beer, and I will sit out. I don't care if I'm sitting out in front of that grill making food for people all day. That is so enjoyable. You get some good music, man, and it's just a nice day. You got the grill out there with the fire and the food and the smells and all that. Oh, man, that's perfect. I will sit out there all day.
That's how
Because
I feel.
most of the time, if you were being real, people like to gather around to cook. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really the party if I'm cooking, to be real with you. Everybody's outside. The grill is right there. You got the chairs right there. You know what I'm saying? bugs don't come around because the smoke. I mean,
Right.
the cook is really where it's at. So I don't really get upset. I mean, if you manage the time, if you make your time worth it, it's not that bad because time is valuable. But I think if you set yourself up, you can still get some value out of something like cooking for everybody
Right.
else if you do it right.
Yeah, hell yeah. I agree.
It
I enjoy that shit.
probably depends on the company though too, right?
Personally, I don't really
Well,
care.
yeah, but even if it's just me,
Like,
I will
you've
cook
never
for
had-
myself and just blast music and drink beer while
Oh
I'm
no,
doing it.
that's different. That's a little different.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's there.
And that only matters. See, I think part of the problem too is I only have a charcoal grill right now.
That's all I want.
So
That's the
that-
best.
That's the one. I don't want gas.
Yeah, they're the
grills.
best, but they take forever to get to a
So,
really
right,
good
that's the-
cooking temperature. And then if you're only making one thing, like it's a waste.
Nah, yeah. So what? Trump is bringing back the coal miners, so we're fine with coal.
This is-
What does it have to do with Chuck?
I mean,
Yes.
no. Yes. Is that not what's happening?
Sidebar, I never thought I would have heard you say something positive about Trump
Dude,
just
it was
now.
mad
I mean,
sarcastic. Fucking coal mining is dead,
Yeah,
dude. Nobody does that shit anymore. Like,
oh, there it is. All right, we brought it back to reality.
no,
All
seriously,
Baby
you know-
got excited for a second.
He's like,
He was
really?
just like, yeah,
He's like,
yes,
like
Trump.
Like, no, sorry. I'm a sarcastic asshole. No, but cooking with charcoal is better than cooking with gas. That's
Oh,
just
yeah.
my
No,
my
flavor. I agree with you, but I mean, in terms of making something quick and easy on the grill, no, it's
more
completely
fun.
ineffective.
It's more because you gotta like put the lighter fluid on and you gotta
You
light
just
it.
make
and
it
it's mad. And you just gotta sit there
Wait,
and
wait,
watch
wait.
the fire
Well,
burn.
wait, yeah, can I hear that sound effect again? Oh, that's a, thank you. Thank
Yo,
you.
I am so happy we got that on camera.
Ah, shit.
Yo, word. I'm so happy we
right.
got that on camera.
Oh man,
Fuck yeah.
I wish this mic wasn't in front of me, John. So I could there would be a move that I would do.
what a
No,
a flare?
I'd be taking it back to middle school.
Yo, where's that
Oh
from?
man,
That's from middle school rec nights. I'm not
Oh,
gonna put a label to it.
I know
Oh, I'm
exactly.
gonna
Yeah,
say
kid.
what it is.
Huh?
You mean the Anika dance?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, why you put
The
my bits out there?
There you go.
Nah, that could be a mad people, bro.
what?
I'm just saying. It's a dance that I had a dance with a girl. We went to rec night in 8th grade, and this girl that was dancing with me, she's not of European descent, but she danced like it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I
she danced
Did
like
you
a
get
white
that one?
girl, and that's really it. Was all the doing the hair things and the.
Oh, was that your European? That was the European
yeah, I
descent
didn't want to
reference.
just say
I
she
get
danced
it. I
like a
didn't
white
get
girl. I
it.
was trying to be sensitive, but you drew it out.
I mean,
you know?
I didn't understand it.
Yeah, no, European descent. What the fuck you think that is? Like,
I don't know.
anyway, but yeah.
Aren't there a
So
lot of
ever
places
since
in
she
Europe?
did this to me, it was just like the most funniest thing. I was in 8th grade, and I told them, and I've been
white
doing
girls
this
like that.
because it was the most amazing visual thing. It wasn't good. It was just hilarious, and it etched itself into my brain.
It was like it's like it was this funky clap situation.
Yeah, man, it was, oh man, good times.
But you know what the worst part is about that? That shit lasted to 2019. Like that. How do you?
Oh yeah,
how do
we're
you remember
talking
it?
about something that's like 20.
That was in the 90s. That was the 90s. Well,
No.
2000.
No, it might have been in the
1999.
90s.
No, that was 99. That was 99.
Yeah,
That was 20 years.
It's oh my god.
Jesus, she did
You see,
this 20 years ago.
This
man.
is
I never forgot
exactly
it.
this is exactly what I'm talking about. 20 years ago, we're talking about something 20 years ago. That shit was like yesterday to me. My concept of time is shot, like shot.
The thing about like concepts of time, like, do you ever feel like you're not the person that you always was? Like, you know that you're a certain age, but at one point do you wake up and be like, okay, now I'm the older version? Like, you never do, right?
Nah.
You just go through life and every day seems like the fucking same because you're with you more
Nah,
than
yeah,
anybody
but-
else is.
Not really.
Right.
So
What?
on
Wait,
no, like
wait,
you
what?
still like not to say
You-
that you're
you
the
feel the
7-year-old
same
you,
as-
but that
as-
person, you know what I'm saying? You're still that same
It
person.
depends. What it is. Like I do feel the same. Well, and the same. I'm still a kid. We're all still kids. We still like our freaking video games and shit that we grew up with and stuff like that. But
Think-
we're mature adults, right?
Yeah.
Like some days I wake up, I'm like, damn, fucking 401ks and interest rates, fucking mortgage payments. and
Yeah,
shit.
but that's just
Nah.
responsibility. What I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is your concept of time is kind of hard sometimes because you'll never see yourself as a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old or a 50-year-old. You know what I mean? You'll never in your mind imagine yourself as the old person that you see waiting at the bus stop. You'll never imagine yourself being, older than what you are. So I don't know. Like, to me, I still have all the same memories that I had at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They didn't go anywhere. I'm still the same person. I just got older. My responsibilities changed. Maybe I matured, but that person still exists. So it's like your concept of time. You physically see everything passing you by, but on the inside, do you really like recognize it? I don't know. It's kind of hard.
No, no. I think I know what you mean. No, you don't recognize the time passing by, and that's I think what is mind-boggling to me when you do. Like for me, you just pointed out right that dance. As funny as we remember it clear as day. I remember the day. Yeah. In that cafeteria that night, I should say, you coming up and reenacting it and us cracking the fuck up. Like hard. You know what I'm saying? I remember that clear as day. So then for you to turn around and go, yeah, that was 20 years ago. I'm like, what? Yeah. Like my being wants to be like, nah, bro, like that was 5 years ago.
Right. Because I think that I don't want to get too philosophical with it. But I
here
think
we go.
Let's do it, bro. Let's do it. Let's go.
Touch it.
Our real beings, we don't have a concept of time. Like there are many dimensions. You know what I'm saying?
I was just about to ask, what's the definition of time?
Well,
like
time,
what is time?
Time is you have to have space.
Time,
we're gonna have to go
time
physics.
Time is a way to identify events.
Well, no, time is a real thing.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
It has to be.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because we age.
There you go.
Whether we count the numbers or not, we give. It's like length is still length, even if we don't say it's 2 inches. Like it's still.
That's what she said.
You know, so time still exists whether we give context to it or not. But I believe that in another dimension, it's more than that. Time goes both ways. Because time does go both ways, but we just can't go the other way because our bodies can't perceive time but only one way. We can only perceive time going forward.
Can only decay.
Right. And that's because of our physiology.
That's scary. Oh, Jesus.
Time goes both ways, but we're three-dimensional beings living in 4 dimensions because the third dimension is just physical beings. Like it's
it's the X, Y, and Z axis, right? Like everything in the physical world.
Right. So
time
2D,
is the 4th dimension.
2D would be this flat table, right? The third dimension would be going above that flat table, right? It's like, and so the 4th dimension, it wouldn't be space anymore. It would be time flowing through the 3rd dimension. That's the 4th dimension.
Yo, you just
word. You just fucked me up.
No, that's actually basic
where's
physics.
Rebecca with this beer, bro? Because in order to understand what the hell you just said,
Dude,
I need alcohol.
I could really
and maybe some other green substance in my life.
When we have like 3 or 4 hours, I will really sit there and explain all the way up to the 10th dimension. It's really not that hard of a concept, but there are other dimensions.
On your KRS-One shit, huh?
Yeah, because it's real.
Wait, what? On what?
KRS-One.
What the fuck is that?
There are multiple,
you don't know who KRS-One is?
He's an old school rapper.
If I'm asking who,
he's an old school rapper.
He's old school
rapper.
rapper.
He's on.
I'm not a rap head, so you can't be surprised by what
he's on some higher being stuff right now.
Yeah,
So like I said,
no, I know he's right because the only reason I'm saying that is because I came across a YouTube video of him where he was talking about a 4th dimension, and I'm sitting there looking at him. I'm like, I didn't finish the whole video just because I just didn't have enough time to finish it all. But I think I watched like 10 minutes of it, but I'm sitting and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is KRS talking about? A 4th dimension. And this dimension was something that was not even you. Like it was like completely outside of you.
We can't perceive it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So we are
in a good way, crazy in a good way.
We perceive things through the 5th dimension. We couldn't perceive things through the 3rd dimension because 3rd dimension doesn't have any time. It doesn't have any time, so nothing moves. The fact that we're able to move and we're progressing, we're aging, you're experiencing the 4th dimension. But you cannot experience that dimension while in it. You have to be outside of it. So we experience life we experience it through the 5th dimension because we experience time and physical things. You know what I mean? So if you were just somebody who's just from the 2nd dimension, right? Who's just a flat guy on a piece of paper, he can never understand the concept of 3 dimensions because his being is only built for the 2nd dimension. So if our beings is limiting us to only seeing time and space, we'll never be able to see outside dimensions. And once we do, right, that's time travel. And that's interstellar travel. When we can go through space and time, that's the fourth dimension. That's when we get to control the fourth dimension. We can control 3 dimensions, we cannot control 4. So
Damn,
there's
bro,
more to it.
You just fucked me up, man, because first you said we was somewhere in the 5th dimension, we can't do the 4th dimension, we in the 3rd dimension. We had too many fucking dimensions, yo.
To experience time, which is the 4th dimension,
Right.
and the 3rd dimension, which is, you know, the things around us.
Okay.
We have to be outside of it. Right? We cannot be in that dimension. We cannot be in the 3rd dimension and experience time, because that is a level higher. Right? So you always have to be a level higher to perceive the things lower than you. So we perceive time. So that's the 4th dimension. So we have to be perceiving things through the 5th dimension. But the only thing, our beings is in the 5th dimension. We can just only see the 4th and below.
So we see 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st.
So Ant, right? That's in the second dimension. He can see dots because that's the 1st dimension, right? The 1st dimension is a dot. The 2nd dimension is a line.
Mm-hmm.
The 3rd dimension is a plane. You know what I'm saying? And it goes on from there. So you can only see what's below you. So that person that lives in the 2nd dimension, he can only see dots. Everything is a dot to him, right? So we can only see what we can see because we cannot perceive physically outside. So once you get past that, time goes the other way. It does go backwards. We just can't physically do it because we're not made for that outside dimension.
Ladies and gentlemen,
well, I think we should end this podcast right there.
I'm gonna apologize. John's been drinking.
Yeah. Wow.
Nah, fuck that. That was dope.
I haven't had a conversation like that in a while.
Go KRS search.
I'll show you some videos that I actually learned
word.
from.
Fabian just said he hasn't had a conversation like that in a while. Did y'all hear one thing come out of this man's mouth for it to be called a conversation?
Shit.
It doesn't matter. I was absorbing the information.
But our conversation
because
is
I want to make sure what he was.
You didn't say shit.
So I didn't
I
reciprocate.
mean,
However, I was
technically, a
absorbing the
conversation
information.
involves listening and speaking.
Okay, so he listened.
Yeah, and
You
now
did
I'm
the
going to
first
speak
time.
about it. I thought that was very fucking
So that's
interesting.
not. So all you did
I
is
like
you.
Did y'all
I haven't
understand
heard
me? Was
something
I
like that in a while.
convoluted and
That's
crazy?
the proper way
Or
to
did
say
you
it.
like, y'all
No,
understand
I
what I'm
got
saying?
it, but that's why I asked about the whole 5th and 4th, because at one point you were talking about the 5th dimension, and then how we can't do the 4th, and then we was in the 3rd, and then
Well,
I
believe that our spirits and our beings, like not our physical body, our spirits are in the 5th dimension. We just don't have access to it.
This topic went so far on a different
It's all right.
plane than I thought it was gonna go. I mean,
I ain't gotta believe it.
No,
I believe
it's
it.
not even that. I don't think I can process that deeply right now.
Yeah, I'll link you out to some videos.
I mean, that'll probably
That's how I learned, through videos. And then Neil deGrasse Tyson explained it to me on videos, and then I said, okay.
I don't know.
Well, first off,
he's an interesting character.
First
He's a
off,
smart guy.
no, fuck him.
Whoa.
Fuck him.
Excuse
All
me.
right, let's hear that.
Wow,
Fuck him.
Controversial.
He does have a little arrogance to him, though, which pisses me off.
Nah, fuck him. Fuck him and his science and all his.
All right,
Why?
can you give us something?
Why?
Like, that's all
Why?
you're saying.
Nah, because he pisses me off.
You still didn't say
You're
why.
still not saying anything.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because to me, half of the shit the guy says is retarded, and I'm coming from.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Your wife just scared the shit out of me.
Oh, she's Batman.
Like, I
Out of
heard
the sixth
something.
dimension.
I heard something. Yeah, word. That shit's coming out the 7th, 8th, and 23rd. I don't
man.
know. Hey, what up? Beer's here.
Beer,
Rebecca.
She came in and started doing something with the curtains, but I heard her come in, but didn't see anything. I looked, nothing. Looked again,
Well,
nothing.
if it was an intruder, they would have got beat the fuck up. There's too many of us in here.
Yeah, word.
Like, it would have been bad. for them.
Listen, I don't know about your neighborhood yet.
Yo.
Yeah.
We know
who he
I'm
is.
sorry. So go ahead, Neil deGrasse. Right? What's his
Yeah,
name?
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay.
You never heard of this guy?
No,
Yeah.
I've heard.
Nah.
His name is too much to say.
Listen,
Neil
the re-
deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said it backwards at one point. It got fucked up.
The reason why he pisses me off is because first off, he swears he knows everything and knows. To me, he knows nothing, and I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
I'm gonna get to that. The reason why I say that about him is because of his stance and his science stance on vaccines, and to me, based on the research that I've done on vaccines and things like that, looking at it from both sides of the spectrum, pro and anti, his logic makes no fucking sense. The shit that he says about vaccines being so safe and how we're going backwards and his thought process of that of medicine, I just don't agree with him. I think he's a fucking dumbass.
So what do you like? All right. So
But,
without
all right,
going,
so,
what-
so based off one topic, which you happen to have a certain stance on that's opposite of his, is why you're calling him a dumbass?
No,
That's illogical in of itself.
Well, no, you know what it
You
is?
would have to take his body of work and,
you know-
and various examples to call somebody a dumbass.
In order for me to like really give you my full blown like reason as to why I think he's a dumbass, I need to see I need to see him speaking of any topic as a whole. Like if we played a video right now of him, I will tell you why I don't fucking like him based on what he's saying.
Who brought
I
this
get
guy?
it.
I can't. Man.
He brought himself this time, bro.
I think it might be due to his
Suck
arrogance.
it, pause.
But I really can't fucking stand him.
I think he's a smart guy. You don't have to
You don't have to agree with him
his,
for him not
his,
to
like,
be smart, though.
You don't have to agree with that. Like, okay, I might not necessarily agree with his stance on vaccines, but I think that's more of like a personal thing. He's also like an astrophysicist, so I'm gonna listen to him.
Listen, and then also too the other side. Now, before I say this, I don't want nobody in here to think that I am a flat earther. I don't believe in the whole flat earth theory. Like some of the shit I can see why some people like it. To me, it just doesn't quite make 100% sense for me to fall into the whole flat earther theory. However, his stance on the whole like globe and all that shit, I don't know. I just be like, yo, this shit is fucking retarded. I just think he's fucking retarded, man. I don't personally like. I'm not gonna take away his smarts or whatever the case may be. But if I'm in a room with him and I don't know who else I can put in a room with him. But the point is, I'm probably gonna go with the other guy over. I'm probably gonna take the other guy's word over his because I take his shit with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, you're allowed to be controversial and whatnot. You know, like that's okay.
He still knows a lot about like space and stuff, and so that's kind of what I was leaning towards. I learned a lot about the dimensions from him.
I mean, what the fuck? Did you just use your teeth? Is that what you're using?
Yes.
The fuck?
Sorry, did you want the bottle open, sir?
I mean, I did, but I wasn't.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen out there. I open beer bottles with my teeth. Fight me.
Word.
it is on camera.
It is. You can see it on YouTube and check it out. See him open up a bottle with his teeth.
Facts.
Word.
Oh shit! All right.
Anyway,
I
where are we at?
gotta learn how to go Facebook Live, guys. I'm just saying.
Technical difficulty.
Oh wait! Oh, I found it.
Where
You
do we
did it?
find it?
I mean, I'm doing it.
You got to enable camera.
Thanks, guy.
Yo,
Trying to
so
help you
can
out.
I appreciate it.
can I don't know how if you guys want to jump into this topic right away right now or
What's
if you
that?
got
I wanna
something
hear
else
it.
on your head, huh?
I want to hear it. What?
I mean, I want to hear about your anti-vax shit, but I guess that's a conversation.
Well,
I don't know, man.
I don't know if we want to get into that topic. That's a very
that for
long.
another
that
day.
That's a very long.
that-
I know,
I
but
actually get my
everybody-
wife in here because she agrees with you, and I don't necessarily agree with y'all as much as y'all probably would like me to.
Nah,
I do believe in vaccines to a certain extent.
Uh-oh,
I don't
here we
believe in
go.
all vaccines,
Wait a minute.
but I believe in some vaccines.
Wait a minute. But we're not gonna do that one.
No, I
today.
know. That's why
No,
I
we're
told
not
you
gonna
to
go-
save it for
That's
another
gonna be a
day.
different. Yo, what's up, Facebook? We're here
all
getting this episode going.
Yes, live. If nobody's like there, they're not gonna.
I mean, that's fine.
So,
they can tune in
let's see. So then
if they look back.
let's
we'll get Fabian.
let's talk about this. Since we got what, like 20 almost 30 minutes into this. Let's talk about this. May is mental health month,
Okay.
right?
I didn't know that.
It is. May is mental health month, and the topic for me at least, it's a very I like this topic because I feel that one of the people, I mean, there's only two people, but man and female, but out of both, I think the one person that suppresses their mental health is men. Like, we really have a really bad issue in terms of mental health. Like, we have so much shit because of the way we grew up, where you gotta be the tough guy. Like, you gotta hold all your emotions in. You gotta hold in. You can't cry. Like, you gotta be the man. Yeah, but what about us? Like, what about us getting what about our emotions? Like, why can't we be in tune with our emotions? You know what I'm saying? Why can't we sit down at the rectangle table and have a dialogue about what's going on with us?
Well, we can.
Well, I think society.
We can. Because this is just our nature. Like, this is who
Yeah,
we
but
are. We grew up to, but naturally, men aren't going to come together at a table and discuss about their issues.
Well, society tells you that it's weak for us to do something like that. We're not allowed to show weakness and cry about our feelings to say somebody hurt us. So a lot of that comes down to pretty much what we have been put in our face pretty much since birth, even probably before that.
Mm-hmm.
As far as masculinity goes, that being masculine means not showing, you know what I'm saying, your real feelings and stuff like that. So, which I believe is bullshit, but that's kind of, it also goes into the mental health. If I'm a man and I'm telling you that I'm suffering from depression, you're going to call me a pussy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Stop being a little girl. Now I'll never come out. You know what I'm saying? I'll kill myself before I tell you something's wrong with me. And that's kind of where it comes down to as far as men. I think we're conditioned to have this kind of ego, you know what I'm saying, about how we're supposed to be portrayed. And if we're not portraying that, if we show any crack or signs of chinks in the armor, you know what I mean, that's vulnerability. And as a man, I don't want the world laughing at me, telling me I'm not a man because I cried. You know what I'm saying? So I think that has a lot to do with it.
I think,
for sure.
I don't think that's, I think that's partially true. It depends on the situation. I know, some people in certain situations with their families and stuff like that, or the wives, or the families and shit, they're going through hard times. And, I know that, as long as you have the proper outlet, to express yourself, you know what I mean? Whether it's, your wife, your parents.
But why
your
can't you
siblings.
just express yourself?
No,
like,
it's not,
why does it have to be the proper outlet, and why do you have to act a certain way until you can?
But check this out. It's
God
He's in
damn,
here.
you just made
My
this
thing is
whole-
like stress.
Listen, I'm sorry, Fabian, I'm going to cut you off. But for the podcast listeners, if you happen to take your headphones off because of Frank doing that, just understand that he completely
I'm
threw the whole
sorry.
shit
Yeah,
off.
apologize to the
I'm sorry, everybody, to everyone in Instagram land.
all right,
Ray just
our buddy
Ray just
Ray.
got here. We are whole again. We're excited. I'm
Hey,
excited.
Leo.
All right.
Leo says hi, guys.
What up, Leo?
Leo's my
what?
son, for
All
those who don't.
What was that?
Don't know.
But
I'm
anyways,
sorry.
Okay,
go
that's
ahead.
fine. So what I was saying is, expressing yourself is one thing, and that's important. And because not doing that would be, detrimental to your mental health and probably physical well-being, especially if that builds up and it manifests itself physically. But my point is that when you're dealing with other people around you, especially you guys are fathers, right?
Right.
Right.
Wife's going through shit. Your kids are hit a certain age, they're going through all types of shit, right? Trying to pay the bills, trying to do whatever. Everybody's stressing out, they're letting the emotions get the best of them. At some point, I feel like you got to put your feelings to the side and you got to be the rock because that everybody needs or the shoulder to cry on because nobody else is doing it. So it's not that you can't express yourself. It's almost like find a proper outlet because if you crumble and you're the head of the household, that rest of the family is going to crumble too.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. I'm sorry, Frank. Let me ask you a question. If you were you're saying that as the man, if I fall, everybody else falls, right? So you're being, I got to be the rock to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody comes to be because I'm the shoulder to cry for them to cry. But who's that for you?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to find it. You got to find it. Whether it's your wife, whether it's your family
As
member.
men, we don't have those outlets.
How do you go to your wife? Your wife is depressed. Your wife is crumbling.
So
You're
then
supposed to be her.
Exactly. So then you go to your moms or your pops or your
It's
sister.
not easy as a
Like
man.
I talk to
you're
my
not
sister
trained
about
to do
everything.
that.
She knows. She knows.
But here's the thing. You said like as the head of the household, this is what you're expected of.
No, not expected, but I'm just saying you got to know when to. Because if your emotions get the best of you, and you're just like, oh, I'm just stressed out, and you do that to the people that are already in that situation,
even aside from that, and not
it can make things
not
worse.
to make it sound chauvinistic, but why does the man have to be the head of the household? Why does he have to be the one to carry that stuff?
She does. You don't. It could be her. You could be the one that's constantly emotional, and she's the one that's just like, damn, I got to hold it together. Actually, sometimes the opposite happens. Men go through situations. The guy loses his job. And his wife's holding up the bills, and he's trying to take care of the kids and shit, and he's stressed out too. And she's the one holding it all together.
But
And she's the one that has to like, damn, and my whole family's freaking going through shit. You know what?
But to what John was saying though, a lot of those feelings are put on by society on what a person takes on from what society tells them they should be doing. Like I say that because your initial go-to was like, as the head of the household, you got to be the rock because that's what is established. Now, yeah, when it was brought to your attention, you changed it, but that was your initial, like, as the man, that's what you're expected to do. That's what society tells us to do.
Well,
That's
I feel
what
like
that's what was John's point.
These societal beliefs stem from a long time ago. We could go biblical. You know, these things were man is supposed to be the rock. Man has that connection. You know, man is supposed to follow the word so that he can lay down the law and whatnot. But when talking about Jonah, when it comes to a man being able to express himself or somehow to release what it is that he's been holding in, it's hard, but that's what we're for. Other groups of men, we form our own kind of thing and we encourage one another. If it can't be your wife, but definitely I feel like your wife should be the first person that you go to be able to express how it is that you feel.
I don't know.
I don't know if all
not
guys.
necessarily.
I don't feel, to be honest with you, I don't feel that all guys feel comfortable even telling they feel it. Even though I probably do need to like talk to somebody, I probably never would. For the first reason, I feel like I don't want to burden nobody else with my problems.
That's one of the biggest problems I have.
That's
feel
kind of
like,
getting to the point that I was
you know what I'm
talking
saying? Everybody else got like, why would I tell you that I'm depressed and ready to? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need that kind of weight on you. And second, it's not manly to sit there and talk to a bunch of people about how you sad. Like, nigga, fuck your sadness. You know what I'm saying? Go out and go. No, but that's how.
That's how a lot of people
growing up.
perceived,
That's
yeah.
how I was raised. My father, like, nigga, all right, you sad, go get over it. Go do what you need to do. So this is what it wasn't no time to actually talk about any feelings that you have, or you know what I'm saying, things that are lingering, because you're taught to, as a man, as a boy, to get up, get over it, and push through because people are dependent on you. So it's like you'll never really get the opportunity at this point to even feel comfortable to talk to somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable.
But this is the barrier that we need to overcome. Yeah, for sure. Because, Frank and you, John, you guys agreed that you don't want to burden somebody else with your problems, with your issues. But I don't think you guys are burdening somebody else. Like, if anything, you're literally asking for an opinion or help for your problems that you're going through, and you just need a fresh set of eyes to maybe help you resolve whatever issues that you're going through. As men, I think we shouldn't be looking at it like that. Like, if we're all homies, like I think we've gotten to the point in such a short period of time where if some shit happens to all of us, like to one of us, it happens to all of us.
Right.
I think we all have gotten to that level where it's just that. Right. So if we are at that level, then it should be okay for any one of you guys to come up to me or somebody else and be like, "Yo, I'm going through some shit."
Yeah, but what if you was never conditioned to do that with anybody? I got brothers too.
You were conditioned to keep that shit to
Right.
yourself.
It's not that just because it's a group of men.
Understood.
I have actual brothers and siblings and parents that I would never share with because that's not how I was raised.
Understood.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we wasn't raised to share our feelings and
right.
But in life, I feel like it's
outgoing.
important for us to start unlearning the things that don't serve us anymore.
Oh yeah,
That's
you're
the
right.
avenue
I
I'm
agree
going
with you,
to.
but it's hard to just break those. Again, your condition.
But
not
it's
10
just
years,
it's
30
just
years.
as easy as it is hard.
Yeah.
It's
You know
just,
what,
it's
John?
just as
I
easy
don't
as it is hard. We make it hard by
Right.
not choosing that decision of, it's hard.
It's
so I'm
about your
not gonna
comfort
do it.
level. If I don't feel comfortable telling you my business, you can say it's just as easy as it is hard, but I just don't feel comfortable telling you my business. I have a multitude of reasons and why you don't need to know what's going on.
No,
with
I
me.
understand that.
And so it's like, yeah, I'm not. Again, I have to learn. We were conditioned to learn how to deal with that shit ourselves. Like, oh, you depressed, nigga? Well, figure it out. Oh,
Right.
your girl left you? Oh, figure it out. Oh, you just lost your job? Oh, figure it out. Nobody feels bad for you. You know what I'm saying? And we're conditioned to not even tell nobody that we sad about the shit, that we on the edge, because nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody gives a shit.
That's what it's enforced that nobody's gonna ultimately care.
Yeah.
But we do. I mean, I'm gonna use all of us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you came to me, Ray came to me, Fabe, and Frank and Fabe came to me with some shit, right? I'm gonna sit there and listen to what you got going on, because to me, you're obviously going through some shit. Like you're feeling some kind of way, and I think the reason why I would do that is because of who I am and who I'm becoming, right? Because having a child made me realize that I need to start looking within at my own personal issues, right? Figure out and how to break generational curses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And part of that is this. Like I need to clear my mental in order to be a better father, in order to be a better husband. So if I can't talk to somebody, my homies, about whatever issues I'm going through, how the hell can I become a better father or become a better
that's
man?
learned behavior. That's something you got to be taught. You got to be taught, believe it or not, how to communicate your feelings.
Somebody has to show
100%.
you that they're willing to listen also, because it's not just amongst, like for us, yes, we're willing to listen to each other, right?
Right.
We have that connection, that understanding, and a similar mindset, right?
Right.
If you go to some urban areas, that's just detrimental to you. You can't talk about that shit. You can't show that quote unquote weakness.
Right.
You just can't do that, right? Because that person that's pretending to be your boy, pretending to be your friend, to have your back, that may not be doing so later on. You know what I mean? That
Or they don't have
you're
your
showing
best
the chink
interest.
in your armor.
You know how many
Yeah.
niggas smile in your face and really they plotting on your girl, they plotting on your pockets. They,
Right. No,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I'm not taking that away.
it's just it's
but
a
you-
lot to go to as a man that you don't even know who to trust with.
Yeah,
your
you don't know
feelings and
where
shit,
you
know
can
what
go.
I'm saying? Like,
But that's also, I mean, that's also a societal thing. Like it's still to me, it still comes back to breaking those generational
vulnerable?
curses. Yeah, like being vulnerable, and also like breaking those chains, like breaking. Don't let where you grew up dictate
Where you gonna end up?
where you're gonna end up or how you are. Yeah, I get it 100%. I'm not. I know that in urban areas and anywhere, we as men were taught from birth, right? I mean, I do it sometimes too. My son falls, yo, get up, you all right.
right.
You know what I'm saying? We're taught that from the beginning, but at some point, we need to figure out us. Like we need that outlet, right? Females have that shit. They talk to their homegirls all the time.
You know what? You're right. I would have to agree with that because I'm preaching that for a little bit now.
Well,
Like,
that's
you
what
got to
it's
take
all
care
about.
of your own before you can take care of anybody else. If you ain't right in the head and you got a family to look out for,
whole episode on that.
you're in the world of problems. Not just for yourself, but for the rest of your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
So let me ask you guys this then. What about shrinks?
Like psychotherapists?
I
and
think
whatnot?
everybody should see a shrink. Every person in the world,
Why?
It helps, man.
because
Have you? I'm
have.
sorry. Have you?
Yeah, I've
Or
been
do
to
you?
a psychotherapist. Yeah.
Okay.
you're the daily, the things that a person has to deal with daily, and that the average person realistically holds in. Everybody holds a tremendous amount of emotional stress in, men and women both.
Yep, agreed.
Right, for all different kinds of reasons.
Yeah.
And having some place that you or someone that's disconnected to help you navigate through the emotions that's sometimes you don't even realize is
Right.
invaluable. Speaking to somebody who's not connected to your everyday, because like we were just talking about, we could all talk to each other.
A
All right,
sense of
cool.
confidentiality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like like John was saying, there's certain things like even your closest people you don't want to know. Like there's certain things you don't tell your wife, who's
Right.
probably the most closest intimate person to you, but there's certain things emotionally you're just not going to tell her.
Right.
For again, a multitude of reasons. But you may tell the shrink that. You know, everybody should do that. Well,
I was thinking about going to see a therapist
It's a
because I
sense of
honestly believe
liberation.
I need one, like on the inside.
it's
Listen,
it's
I
not
agree.
even just a need though, bro.
No, I
It-
need-
it's no, maybe
No,
so.
listen,
but
I agree with Frank. Listen, everyone needs one. Period.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah, period. Everybody needs us. Needs one. We all are going through shit. Every last one of us are going through something that, to Frank's point, even our wives, we won't say it too. You know what I'm saying? But then what happens to that? Like, that shit's gonna keep bottling up,
Right.
and then that one small issue that was nothing becomes something because you held that one thing because you didn't have nobody to talk to. So everybody needs a shrink. I agree with you 100%, and I think we all should go see one.
Yeah, but I think the average person, even if they do go see one, isn't comfortable saying it. There's a judgment.
Yeah, there's a stigma with it.
It's so fucked up in this society now. What we've created is an atmosphere where everything has to be so hypersensitive. Every comment, every conversation, you have to be hypersensitive, right? But then when it comes to sensitive subjects, people are afraid to talk about them. People are afraid to be vulnerable, like Ray was saying, or to be too revealing. It's really counterproductive because on one side you're breeding softness because that there are issues and there are illnesses, right, that are fabricated, that are created, that are not real, but that are a person's meant to believe
Like
is legitimate. I go when I talk about this stuff, I start leaning towards how kids are being raised now, like with the whole participation trophy aspect of things. And I mean, you can even get into some more serious stuff when it comes to dealing with racial issues, dealing with death, dealing with with bullying. Yeah, I'm not saying these things don't exist and are not hard to deal with them, but I remember growing up, I had to deal with all that shit, and I wasn't being coddled through it.
Right.
You know, if I needed to talk, yes, I had like my parents that I could talk to, right? But shit goes down in schools now, and schools are shutting down for the day. Like, oh my God, not to be insensitive, but so-and-so passed away. And all of a sudden, the whole school is like on, talk to a counselor, it'll be okay. Everyone's here for you. If you can't go to class, don't go to class. What the fuck? You didn't even know a person.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, you got to deal with this stuff.
A lot of that is for attention.
Right, but but this is what I'm saying. And like racial issues. I got called dirty in school because of the color of my skin. I was made to feel like I wasn't washing myself properly by some of these kids.
Bro, I was called a dirty Mexican too.
You know what I'm saying?
I just got nigger.
We had to figure out how to navigate that.
That's simple, nigger.
You know, we had to figure out how to navigate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was trauma. It hurt. It was traumatizing. It sucked.
Yeah.
You know, but we built a certain kind of mental toughness about it. We learned how to handle certain situations. You know, coming up, little league, all that stuff. No, nigga, you lost. You lost. Get better.
Right.
You'll be all right.
Yeah. No facts.
You know, put the work in. You'll be all right. Now you got a fucking participation. No, you lost. Take your fucking L. Move on.
You got to blame parents for that.
100%. But this is what I'm saying. But that's why I say that this stuff is fabricated. It's meant to be an issue.
It's never the kids' fault.
But then you have legitimate issues. There is legitimate depression for again varying reasons, whether it be physiological. Is that the right term?
Yeah.
Like within the person or with something that they're going through, or whatever. You know, but there's real issues and then there's fabricated issues.
Yeah. Okay. You're right.
We're talking about these mental health issues and these things that can potentially be fabricated. There are people that even think that what's taking place within gender is fabricated for these children, and the additional attention that's given to them makes them think that they're X gender or Y gender. I don't know, but I don't necessarily have a direct opinion on it. But what do you guys think? Do you think that
I think everybody's
fabricated.
too concerned about. And see, this is why I have an issue with this, is because
Oversensitivity.
I know you
bullshit.
gotta express yourself and you gotta say how you feel. But it comes to a certain point now we're going backwards where everybody's just worried about what you're feeling all the time. And your feelings are right. And it trumps anybody else's. And that's a problem that I have.
I don't know if it necessarily feels like your feelings are right and it trumps everything. I just think people want their feelings respected, which I don't have a problem with. You can, if you listen, you want to feel like a fourth gender, female, like whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Shemale, like I don't care.
Shemale.
I don't care what it is. Like that's
O'Malley.
fine. Identify it with that, but just I don't think you should get mad because other people don't choose to see you as that. Like I could walk around and do the sound like Chewbacca, but I don't really expect people to take me seriously as
So
Chewbacca.
you don't think people will call you a Wookiee?
Right? Yeah. Oh, like that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? It's like I know it's an extreme, and it's like it's not.
That's
necessarily-
legitimate. You are 100% right, though. If you decided, you know what, I'm no longer a black man, I am a hairless Wookiee.
I'm a fucking Wookiee.
No,
7 foot
a hairless
tall.
Wookiee. I'm
Yeah,
just
hairless,
saying.
Word.
So, if
Just
you
the beard.
decided that in today's world,
Yeah.
right? People, okay, like let's find out. You have to start fucking checking other
See,
on
it's
all your
okay. I
government
don't mind,
forms.
but the thing is, I don't mind the people who say that they're like the seventh gender or whatever. Just
Seventh.
whatever. I mean, you know, there's always fucking. They come out with new genders every day, like it's fucking iPads.
Bro.
I swear to God.
Yeah, he's right.
There's a
man.
lot of them.
No,
like
I don't disagree. I just-
it's
I
a
thought
lot of
there
some of
really
them
was
is
a
like
seventh
genders
gender.
and some of them are sexual orientations. And again, I'm not against any of that. Like, be who you are. I'm not mad at you. Just stop trying to force other people to recognize you for some shit that you're not. Like, I'm sorry, you're not. Like, I'm not.
So I'm gonna.
You got an Adam's apple. Like you're 7. I forget. Did y'all see that video with the GameStop lady dude?
Get,
Yes,
oh,
like,
game-
yes.
it's ma'am. Like
GameStop lady dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
was flipping on a
That's-
GameStop.
yeah,
So it was this
yeah.
lady, this woman. She was a transgender woman,
Mhm.
and I guess the employee, she was trying to do a return or buy a game or something, right? And then the guy behind the counter
yeah.
called her sir,
Oh,
and she lost it. And
Yeah.
it was
Miss-
like, it's
Miss,
not sir, it's ma'am.
Yeah,
Being
yeah.
Just like that.
misgendered.
And I'm like, yeah, okay,
Oh.
I respect the fact that you want to be called ma'am and all of that, but you're clearly a dude, man.
So it's,
You
it's,
got Adam's
it's playing like a
apples,
little
like
bit
you're
of a mind
man.
trick on this guy behind the counter that's so
Yeah.
used to calling
yeah.
guys that look like
I
guys.
get it.
Yeah.
Sir.
So it's like don't get mad because somebody is using their logical brains on something. Like it's not them being insensitive. It's not being. It's just like, dude, you look like a man. You sound like
Well,
a man. I
so
don't
at a-
know what am
at a
I
point
supposed
in
to
that
call
video-
you because you're dressed in women's clothing. Because there are some men who dressed in women's clothing, but still identify as men.
Mhm.
At a point in that video, I feel like the guy behind the counter was more scared of the.
Could have been me.
Yeah.
I'd have lost my job that day.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate because one of the arguments is that one of the arguments is that in our history gender was never binary, supposedly. I mean, I didn't do the research to see if this was true.
I
or
don't know
not.
what that means. Explain, please.
So one of the argument in this whole multi-general gender argument, whatever,
Mhm.
is one of them is that in our history of humanity,
Mhm.
there was a point where gender was never binary. It was never male, female. Like everybody just associated
okay.
with whatever they wanted. But
I don't believe that bullshit. But
I
continue.
was just about to say that. Like
Yeah,
I can't agree with
I
that.
think that's
like, it's-
bullshit. Like, who came up with that? Sometimes you hear things out in the media and you know that there's a fucking agenda behind that bitch. I mean, I'm not the tinfoil hat guy. I am the number one hater of conspiracy theories because 99% of them I do not believe. But sometimes you just hear certain shit and you telling me that 5,000, 6,000, however many thousand years ago that nobody identified as men and women when motherfucking cavemen was hitting female cave women over the side of the head because they was men and the other ones was women. Like they identified, like you knew. I didn't. It didn't started getting complicated until
the
the internet.
LGBTQ
No, honestly, listen.
movement.
Even back in Greek days, right? Gay men, they knew they was gay men. It's not like they wasn't trying to.
Was
like
it
they,
gay men or just like pedophiles?
No, they were gay men. The men had sex with men, and it's not like Okay, you were just you.
No,
you
those
were
were
not-
but it was even a
was
normal
common.
thing for
That was
straight men to have sex with
My
men.
point
Like,
is, my point
Yeah,
is,
and-
they
and-
weren't.
and-
They
like,
As a
it
form
was
of
just
who's
sex.
more
Like, it was
point
just
is
like, yo, we working out, whatever.
They
I just
didn't.
can't get
They
it
weren't
pregnant.
looking to identify as something different than what they already were, like something.
Right,
different.
they still consider
You
themselves
was a
men.
man that liked penis. You wasn't.
Right.
You wasn't the fifth. You know
On
what I'm saying? You wasn't the
occasion,
fifth gender. Like
Greeks.
I think that now we have internet and everybody is looking to stand out. Everybody wants to say that they're a part of a group, right? A marginalized group, because somehow,
Everybody's
yeah.
marginalized
But if
now.
y'all really knew, listen to a black man. Being a part of a marginalized group is not what the fuck y'all niggas think it is, nigga. You don't just get slogans and T-shirts. Like you get your ass whooped. You understand? So stop. I think people are such in a rush to say I'm part of this my super minority. If you actually look at the LGBTQ square pie group, whatever the fuck, like there are so many now subcategory. They keep adding
Yeah.
letters to it.
So-
because everybody wants to feel included, and there's nothing wrong. Again, you can be who you are, but why you all have to have like your own separate subsection? Like I don't
It's
understand.
weird. Everybody wants to be different and included at the same time.
Yep.
And it does it's so contradictory.
Yeah.
Like accept me, but classify me.
Yeah, like
What?
yeah, please put me in this category over here, but I also want you to respect my uniqueness. Well, if you're unique, how can you be classified? Like, why do you want to be classified? If you,
So
it's just a lot of unnecessary confusion just to say that yes, I am the person. Like everybody deserves a soapbox, and I guess gender is now one of those soapboxes.
Right.
So would you guys say that this is a mental health issue? And I got two questions. Does it make it real if enough people believe it?
Oh, all right, hold on a second.
You know what? I think that's the truth. You say you keep on saying something long enough, it's
Nope.
going to be.
I need some
Questions
clarity
quickly,
behind that
yes
first question.
and no.
So the first
Tell you what.
question to clarify, does this misgendering or the additional genders, when you don't accept who it is that you are, who you're born, what it is that you're born with, do you think it's a mental health issue?
Yes, I'm going to say yes.
And the second question, do you think that this is more metaphysical? If enough people believe something, does it make it real?
And I'm going to say no. Sorry.
I'll say yes to the second
I don't
question.
give a fuck if enough people see the sky is red. The sky is blue.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter what you feel. Like the truth is the truth, and you're not going to do a Jedi mind trick on me and tell me, "Well, this is not the truth. I'm really,
Well, I mean,
I'm really
listen.
this."
Well, that's what happens when everybody starts getting together.
Nah, I
if,
mean,
you want,
I-
if you want to
I-
look this up for me, you
You
want to look
let
this
the
up for me.
you let the
But-
masses lie to you.
What you're just saying
Uh,
is a bit contradictory. You want to know why?
go ahead.
Because your eyes lied to you.
I don't get it.
Because the sky's not really blue. It's a reflection of the sea.
No, not even that. But
Oh, okay.
your eyes.
It's not a reflection off the sea.
Your eyes
What is
change
it?
the way
It's the
it is.
oxygen
Supposedly,
that has
your
the-
eyes, everything is upside down.
The oxygen.
Yeah,
molecule.
okay.
And your
All right, so now we gotta go. 'Cause
adjusts
I've
it
always
to
heard it's a
be
reflection off the
what
water.
it
Yeah,
is.
but that's
Yeah.
not color.
That's what I've always like.
Color is color,
All right,
and if
all
the,
right.
if you tell me the sky
I
is
think
red
the
or
oxygen
any other color
molecules
than
have a
blue,
hue of blue.
that's not direction. That's
What?
color.
But
You're
that's
lying.
but then
I don't
that's
know, I could
also
be
a
wrong.
perception of the person, because remember, some people are not completely colorblind. They might just be what's the word I'm looking for? Where one color supersedes the other
it's
one.
inverted or
It's their
Okay.
reality.
Okay.
Yes.
That's that. I
Let's-
guess
yes.
that
So-
becomes
so
the
you
point.
want to get
It's-
technical? All right. Go ahead and tell me that if the masses think 2 + 2 is not 4, am I supposed to think that it's not 4 too? Oh, nigga, that's a fucking Jay-Z bar, nigga.
Wait,
Right
what'd you
there.
say?
No,
What'd you say?
no, no.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
If 2
What'd you say?
+ 2 = 4, am I supposed to believe that? Like, if other
If
people
the
don't believe
masses-
it, am I supposed to believe that too? If nobody believes that 2 + 2 is 4, everybody thinks it's 5. And just because everybody thinks it's 5, is it now 5 because everybody
Well,
believes it?
now,
And
now,
you know
now,
what?
It'll
now-
never be
That's
5.
exactly
That's not true. That's not true. That's not
No,
true.
it is true. It'll never be 5. Look,
That's not true.
This
No.
this can never be 5.
Listen,
I'm doing 2 + 2, y'all.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you why that's not true.
All right.
Because it was man-made.
No.
What happens?
Math is an eternal not a man. No matter even if
It's a
we
universal
never came
language.
up with numerical things, there was always 10 fingers. Even if we never
All right,
counted them,
I get what you're saying. Now.
the
Okay,
number
okay, okay.
10, the 10 fingers still existed.
I renege on what I was about to
Thank
say.
you.
All right.
I
But
get
anyways,
you're
what
saying.
you were saying about
But-
the masses, this
but-
is the problem I have with morality,
the-
because that is exactly the problem. Having the freaking masses agree together, and that's what's right, and they dictate what's right and wrong. So if the masses got it all wrong, then
That's cultural relativism right there.
is that what it is?
Ooh,
That-
dropping clues bombs.
do you read up the
Damn,
source
I ain't
before
got
you
the
come here?
soundboard.
Yeah,
Cultural. That is today's word of the day, or phrase of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Cultural relativism.
Or how I heard it.
Dang, I talk like that.
No, I don't think it was just
that was like a word lasagna.
It was
It was just
eloquent as fuck.
a lot of elements going on.
It was good.
Yeah.
Along with lack of knowledge.
Yeah, no.
So
That's the problem I have with that shit. Because when everybody agrees, because everybody can agree to the wrong thing. Like at one point in time, like you're talking about before, what was it? The Greeks,
Yes.
right? And at one point in time, I mean, I'm not saying them,
That
they
was
didn't have it
okay.
back then.
That was
but
the
at one point in
norm,
time,
right.
it was okay to have sex with
But
children.
was it really okay? Right.
Exactly. But at the whole, all the masses agree that this is okay. So guess what? It's okay. And if you think otherwise, you might be a little fucking off.
So you think there's two genders, right? Am I assuming that that's what Fabian thinks? Two genders? Jonah, how many genders do you think there are?
2.
PJ, Frank, how many?
I think there's two.
Those. Ray, you're gonna have to give an opinion, man.
Yep.
I think there's two genders. I don't know what it is that I think those are sub. If you want to be identified as something else, it's not. I don't think it's a gender. I think it's like a subcategory.
I say there's two genders because at the end of the day, I look at it as on an anatomical side. I'm not thinking of the mental side of it. Because to me, a person can feel however they want to feel, and it doesn't have to be classified. Like you're entitled to your feelings, and nobody can tell you that your feelings are wrong.
Right.
Right. Now,
Just don't expect the world to follow suit, man.
Right.
I'm sorry.
But I mean, but again, that's completely it. Your feelings are your feelings. Nobody needs to agree with them. At the end of the day. Now, if you're trying to lay something down as fact, that's a little different, right? But if it's how you feel, like that's one of the things that I know a lot of marriages go through, right? One of the ways that they tell you to help resolve conflict is to respect each other's feelings. And if you approach a disagreement as saying, this is how I feel when you do X, Y, and Z, your spouse cannot really argue that point because it's how you feel.
Right.
It doesn't have to be right. It doesn't have to be wrong. It's
That's how you trap them,
feel.
fellas. That's how you trap them.
And then that's how you converse, right? So to me, I look at the anatomical side. If you were born with a penis, you're a male. And your body biologically
something
is
today,
going
by
to
the way.
have certain traits. Thank you.
I think
and vice versa. If you're a female, if you're born with a vagina, it's really kind of clear cut and
I think
dry
it's
in that
listen,
sense to me.
I think we should go by chromosomes. If you have an XX, you're one. If you have an XY, you're another. Why don't we just do that?
I think the rest comes to identification in regards to sexual relation. I think that's what it really boils down to, because when I don't know, not even because Jenner
not a lot of choices.
There's
Jenner
people that are
went from a
identifying
man
as
to be a
freaking
woman
alien.
and to still
There's
sleep
now
with women.
age identification now. It
even,
goes way past
even
that.
sexual orientation. How many choices do you really have? Whether if I'm a man and I want to sleep with a transgender woman, right? If I'm sleeping with a transgender woman, that means it used to be a man, right? It's still only one of the other options. It's just painted differently. It's still a dude. You know what I'm saying? It's just got some paint on it. And so, like, it's really so.
or some things cut
Even
off.
sexual orientation is like we try to like twist the system and try to make it more than what it is. But really, there's only two types of humans here. There is XY and XX, and no matter what you think you're having sex with, it's just one of the two and no other.
Right.
It's
When
not.
it comes down to chromosomes, you're absolutely right.
You know what? I saw that.
And even
right.
even what you're born with.
It's not even come down to chromosome. Like biology says
But
you're a
that is-
man. Biology
Well,
says
that's the
you're a
chromosome. Yeah,
female.
that's the chromosome.
chromosome,
biology.
yeah.
Check it. I saw what was it on the news feed? Scrolling through, and somebody posted an article. I saw the picture and I saw the headline. Everybody's applauding it. That a
Nigga, what's the
woman
headline?
had a sex change to become a man. Right. Well, she didn't have. She still
Her
had
parts.
her parts, but cut off her chest. Right. Haircut and everything. Took testosterone. Got married to a dude that had a sex change to become a woman. had breast implants,
I heard
and all
about
that
that.
stuff.
Dude got
And
pregnant.
they
Yeah,
basically,
they had each other's
I was
baby.
like, congratulations,
Like,
you guys
the-
are a
the-
straight couple.
the-
But just it's reversed. I don't
the
understand.
dude got quote unquote the
Word.
guy got pregnant
Yeah.
by the.
So the dude
wife,
looking, the dude
right.
looking,
Yeah, I mean-
it was the one who was pregnant. 'cause
Yeah,
that was
See,
the
it just
chick.
makes it just makes it complicated.
Yeah,
like,
but
it just,
that comes from a need to want to stand out there. Remember those kids when we were in school?
See, I don't know about that. I don't know in that situation. I don't know if it's a need
Well,
to
I
stand
also
out.
believe
They-
that shit is a mental illness.
They,
so
they
Wait, what?
I believe it's
You
a
believe
mental
what's
illness.
a mental illness?
I believe that wanting to be not being gay, that's not a mental illness. All of that, I need to have identify as an extra gender, like this type and this type. I believe that that comes from a lack of attention. I really do firmly believe that it's not just. There are certain people in the world that have to announce their orientations, right? I just don't understand that. If you want to be this and that, like, why do you feel you have
that's
to announce it
different.
to the world?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
different.
I think it's a sense
Yeah,
of
but
courage
this-
for them.
Okay, I feel like you're seeking attention. I'm sorry. I feel like anything that you can have sex with what you want to have sex with, who you want to have sex with, without the world knowing. You can have pride. I mean, what other? I don't know. I mean, we are all straight men, but we also have a sexual orientation. Do y'all like? I don't know. Is there like a pride? I mean, I guess I have pride in being a straight man, but it's like I'm just a straight man. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to really have a parade for it. Like I don't know. I think it's a lot for attention. I don't really think it's for
to a degree. I mean, it depends
yeah,
on
I
how
kinda agree with
how out there you are. But all right, so like so what we're talking about, like for instance, and we're not. I don't think any of us are really trying to pick on the
Nah, it's just what we're talking
LGB
about.
community. But this is an example that speaks to what we're talking about.
Controversial.
In this sense, it is now, for those of you who don't know, LBGTQIA. That is the
We just call it
the
ABCD, EFG,
the
HIV,
acronym
AIDS.
now that stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex, queer or questioning,
See,
asexual, and it's starting to extend into other terms
Why?
such as non-binary and pansexual.
Well,
I don't know what
why?
pansexual
I
is.
no
think
idea.
we as human beings, although
I need
it's
to look
like
that
it's
up.
a weird dichotomy. Sometimes we don't like to be labeled, but at the same time, we want to be identified as something. And I think that's back to that
Like, pay attention
group,
to me.
that tribal thing, that
Right.
sense of community. Oh, I'm not the only one that feels this way, you know, kind of thing. Like, oh, I have somebody I can express myself
I mean,
with,
listen,
and they will understand me.
It makes
I
sense.
agree. I agree 100%.
Real quick,
It does make sense.
pansexual is a person who is not limited in sexual choice with regard to biological sex, gender, or gender identity.
So
what the fuck are
bisexual.
you?
So bisexual. Because it's more than one.
No,
right?
no, because a pansexual can be with somebody. This is where the difference is. Can be with somebody who doesn't identify with a gender. By saying you're bisexual, you're identifying that you're with a man or with a woman. So pansexual, essentially, you're with a person.
Doesn't matter what the other fucking person identifies.
Yo,
I understand it. This is
that's what I'm
the
saying.
dumbest
That's
shit.
the classification,
I'm sorry,
bro.
listen.
It's
I just
crazy.
want this disclaimer. I have a lot of friends that are gay and
Yes.
are with LGBTQ, and those are some of my good friends, and they always like my shit because I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this is some of the dumbest shit, and I hope y'all don't unfriend me, but. I really don't give a fuck that
Well,
much.
no,
but I
they
give a
know
fuck a
you. They
little
know
bit.
you're gonna be talking some shit anyway. So
Yeah, but bro, it's y'all go too far. Like these communities be going too far. You're making more problems than what they are. It's like not every community is marginalized. Not every community needs to be represented. Like the World of Warcraft fucking community is not out here with a parade and shit like that. The Magic the Gathering community is not out here waving a Magic the Gathering.
we strong, though, holla
Yeah,
Magic.
and they deep as shit, nigga. They deep as shit, nigga. Magic the Gathering, throw fucking signs up. All of that.
That's
Like,
right.
I just feel like it's a lot to do with attention and wanting to be recognized by other people because somewhere in your life you ain't get the attention
Bro,
you needed. I'm telling you.
pansexual has its own symbol, by the way.
Fuck all
Yeah,
that.
I mean, so
Look,
did Prince,
fuck
and
all
he
that.
made that shit up too.
Yo, listen.
looks like
Let
a
me.
symbol.
Wow.
It almost looks like a
That
Prince
looks
symbol.
like
and
the
then
Prince
it
symbol.
when
It
that
does look like a
asexual is
Prince
what
symbol.
again? That's like
Oh, man.
you choose not.
A P with an anchor on it.
Listen.
I got you, Fabian. I'll get you the specific definition. 'cause
Asexual.
like, this
Isn't that
is-
like you just You have sex with
Yo,
yourself all the time?
The asexual?
I'm
Like
gonna.
you just beating off like all the
I'm
time?
about
Yeah,
to say
asexual, I
something.
think,
No,
is
it-
basically you don't have any type of sexual.
No,
What
it
is
is
it? I just wanna
no
put- if
sexual
anybody-
feelings
Yo,
or
If
associations.
there's somebody out there listening that
What?
can explain the multiple gender things
How is that
to me
possible?
like, eloquently, I would
How
love
the
to
fuck
hear
is
it. So
that
please
possible?
email us at alpha5podcast@gmail.
Or hit us up on
Hit us
Facebook,
up on Facebook or
Instagram,
Instagram or something.
Alpha 5.
Let me know because I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I really want to know like where the hell these multitude of genders came at in the past 10 fucking years.
No, I don't fuck that. Listen, I'm not. I'm
Oh.
I'm not
Whoa.
speaking. Listen,
Oh.
I'm not speaking on behalf of the Alpha 5 podcast. So do not hold what I'm about to say against the podcast. If you want to hold it against Jonathan, against me,
I like how you put the slang on
by
that. You
all
like
means.
that?
Not this Jonathan, no, there
Jonah.
are two, not the black one.
nah.
You can yell at him at Alpha 5 Podcast
Yo,
on Facebook
listen, if
and Instagram. Him
I'm
specifically.
I personally, I don't give two flying fucks about this LGBTQR community. I don't care about you.
All right, nigga, you
No,
just
I'm
added one.
Yeah, I'm just
But
adding because
yeah,
I
it
don't
is.
care.
I mean,
because I don't.
I'm
Because
sure
I
there's
don't.
an R. Or
I
there
don't-
will be an R.
It probably will be because I don't care. If you're gay, cool. If you're a trans, cool. If you're a lesbian, cool. If I see you and you look like a man to me, I'm gonna address you as sir. And if you tell me I'm a man, I don't care what you are. You look like a man, I'm gonna address you as such. If you look like a female, then I'll address you as such. So just wanted to clear that
Yo,
up.
but
because
what if-
I don't like this is bullshit.
But what if it's really a manly woman and you call her sir?
Well, then
and
my
she's
bad,
really a
bitch.
man?
You need to shave your mustache. I'm sorry.
Damn.
You need to get that top lip.
But why?
then.
Why?
What you mean? Why?
Oh,
Because you a
man.
girl and who want to fucking see? I'm sorry.
I mean,
listen,
first,
toxic
personally-
masculinity alert. Fuck all of that. We need to start going back to some part of me. Yes, let's
Make
let's
America great again.
Yeah, let's make America great again.
Yeah.
Just start calling.
I knew
fucking-
it. He was about
We
it.
got two Trump references in
Listen.
one episode.
Listen,
Yo,
let's
One
start-
sarcastic
listen.
and one almost
Let's start
legitimate.
calling, listen, let's start
Wow.
calling these bitches with mustaches out. We are not letting you get away with this. Oh, I'm just experiencing. Listen, you have a fur fucking coat.
Yo,
on
why
your
does that
face.
bother you though? If she's not
Because
your wife?
bitch, you
Wait.
got a mustache.
So
I got a
what?
mustache.
Wait,
we cannot both have
I,
mustaches.
I have a tangent for us. What is take the mustache out? What is your opinion on women with
Hairy
underarm
armpits?
hair?
Nah, you nasty. Say that shit. Like you're a girl. Please act like a girl. I'm a
I don't
boy.
care.
I'm a normal
All right,
boy
I'm
that
gonna,
likes
I'm gonna
girls.
play the
Wait.
devil's advocate here.
Nah, play the devil's a bad guy. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, first off, I shouldn't be playing devil's
That nigga's a
advocate because the
villain.
devil doesn't need no advocating.
Yeah, he's a villain. Remember that.
But why is
Why does it
that
matter?
why is that bad?
Because that shit's nasty.
Because
Why?
real quick,
Yo,
you're,
I
don't wanna
you're,
see that.
you're,
History-
you're
listen,
doing
history-
exactly what we were just talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Is what exactly what you're
I
just
think,
doing. You're putting a societal
I think I
pressure.
had told y'all before
No,
that humans are a walking contradiction and you're
No,
not
no.
human if you don't
I'm
contradict
I know.
yourself.
I'm just pointing it
Yeah,
out.
that's fine.
No,
I'm
no.
going to contradict
Yeah, but
myself. plenty of
at
times.
one point,
It's nasty.
at one point, no human being was shaving.
Listen,
Yeah, but at some
listen.
point-
At one
At
point,
no
razors
point-
were not available,
At
so
no
that's
po-
really
yeah, at some point,
not
at
a
one point,
conversation.
humans
I'm just
wasn't-
saying though, but
At one
Now
point,
there's options.
why is it a problem?
Now there's
At
options.
one point, women
Yo.
weren't. People weren't bathing on a regular.
Yeah.
At one point,
That's
I
your
mean,
argument.
at one point, people
In some
wasn't
cultures,
eating right.
hair is sexy.
What do you mean? Why do we
That's
feel
the
the need
French.
to be
Why is
stuck
it-
in the Stone Ages on how people used to do shit?
I don't think I know exactly what he means, and it's like
Kazakhstan.
I don't want to look at it. I don't like anything that looks like me.
Yeah,
that reminds
I'ma
me
do-
of
I
me.
want something
Mustache
soft.
reminds me of me.
Yeah, I want
Again,
some
So
soft,
I don't
elegant,
like that.
sexy,
You know what I mean?
classy.
That's-
I'm
Yo,
a
those
dude
hairy
and I
armpits
stink.
could be soft.
Again.
So it's
No.
like
She
societal
conditions
norms. I know what he's
Yeah,
going
no,
about.
no,
Like,
no,
oh
no,
yeah, you
no.
should have.
I'm sorry.
They
I
just
like
too
girls.
recently started being
Be a
able to
girl.
shave their shit. They let it fly. They let it fly
It
out.
is a
And if you a
societal
girl
thing.
and
Because
you don't do
females-
that,
But
I'm
since
judging
when
you.
did that start though?
Yeah, I'm judging you.
And-
I'm judging you. If you,
I mean,
don't
that's
share-
cool. If you're gonna do that, that's cool. I'm not mad at you. for that.
If you're not an old black black church woman, right, and you have a mustache, you're a young woman. You need something wrong with you. You need to say that. Only old black church ladies need to have that little like light mustache that you see. Like y'all don't know, but I know.
Or like grandma,
Yeah,
grandma be
like,
coming out with that shit.
That light little,
Yeah.
you know,
No,
some
that's-
Spanish women have to that light little, and it only come really right
Yeah, they do.
here.
Yeah,
It only
yeah.
come really right here, and it fades out.
And then
towards the middle.
maybe like a little bit right there, right on the nose.
Unless you one of them.
That's a Spanish problem, too.
Hey, you're gonna have
Hard.
to get that. You're gonna have to line that up.
Line it up.
Yeah. You have to do something.
Listen,
This
if
shit don't
you
even look
line
like-
it up now, that's different. Now you're acknowledging that you have it and you're accepting of it.
Well,
I don't know,
but the
man.
thing is, they know some just don't care.
I don't agree either, Jonah. If you want to leave your hairy armpits, leave your hairy
yeah,
armpits.
nasty.
That don't mean
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
marry
no.
her though. That doesn't mean I'm gonna date her.
The reason why I'm saying that.
Let them be how it is that they want.
Nah, I'm judging you. You can be how you want.
You can
I'm
judge.
judging
Listen, you can judge all you want.
Yeah, I know.
The point that I'm trying to say is that why is this such a problem? For why
Because
does
this shit is nasty. I don't
why?
know.
Yo,
It's
skinny-
nasty. Visually, it's nasty. I
Listen,
mean, I don't know why.
Visually is nasty. Fucking all these guys wearing skinny jeans.
I mean, okay. Some bitches like that shit.
That's my point.
Yeah,
And
they,
some
but that's
males
my
like
point.
that.
Let
But that's
me-
my point. Somebody else
okay.
likes. Somebody
Which
likes,
one? Some males like that. Which one of you?
It doesn't
you,
mean it's us, man.
Name
But
me
that's
the one
some
guy. Name me. I'm not. Listen. I'm not
speaking for
playing
the
devil's-
marginalized, John.
I am not playing devil's advocate with dumb bullshit.
Yo, but-
Name me the one guy that y'all ever came across with is okay with a fucking female having a mustache and he would.
All right.
Yo, out of the billions and billions
in all
of men in
seriousness,
this
we
world,
may not have, but that shit is accepted in certain
On
cultures.
that website,
It may not be accepted in our culture, but it is accepted in certain cultures.
I will give. Show me, fellas, if you out there and your girl got a mustache and you okay with that,
Yo,
send me that picture.
yo,
and I'll
I'm
send you
about
Look
to
$20.
up, look up the
I
girl.
swear to God.
Look
Underarm
up the
fetish.
girl, the model that has the crazy
the rest of
unibrow
it
and
doesn't
doesn't
be on
and
point.
I ain't
doesn't
say
freaking
hairy underarms.
wax her
I said a
unibrow.
mustache.
But there's probably
Show
that
me
too.
the dude that's
you
okay
said-
with the
you said,
mustache.
hairy
Show me the
underarms.
dude that's okay with the mustache. Y'all niggas is nasty. That's a fucking standard. Your girl
Why?
got a mad.
Why
Tell her to
is
say
that-
that shit.
Why is
Because
that a
it's
problem?
I got a mustache. That's why.
My man, sounds
Exactly
like you
my
got some
point.
mental issues.
Nah, I'm sorry.
We covered that already.
So you telling me
earlier.
your
He
wife
acknowledged
got
that too.
your wife got a full Ray beard? You making out with your wife?
No, listen.
That's what you're telling me. Ray got a lump. Just get people that don't see. Ray has a
losing this
lumberjack.
battle, Jonah.
beard.
You
Ray
can't-
looks
you
like
can't
Paul
do it.
Bunyan.
I've been
Hold on,
killed,
you
Ralph.
losing this battle.
You know what?
I'm
when,
not. This
when
is not a
you
battle.
view
It's
this
not a battle because
podcast,
I'm
you
not-
will see a picture of Ray
Listen,
at
facts.
some point.
Facts.
I'm not
This is being
arguing.
taken as we speak.
I'm not arguing that what John is saying
Right, smile for the
is
people.
wrong.
Oh, you just going.
What I'm saying,
Wait,
what
wait,
I'm
wait,
saying, what I'm
zoom.
saying is that society
portrait
has
mode.
trained
Boom.
us to say
you can't do
women
it
should
portrait
look
mode, you know
like
that?
this
Why?
and men should look like that. Why does it have to be that way? Why?
I'm gonna tell you
there's some
why. Because
there's-
men set the standards for women, and women set the standards for women. Want us to look a certain way, so we have to look that way. We want women. If you want me
That
to,
is true.
you want to attract. You want me to be attracted to you. We are the ones. So you saying, well, why
No,
can't women have?
again,
why,
I'ma be-
why
No,
can't
no.
you? Why can't women have under
Underarm. There we go. I'm helping you.
Yeah.
Breathe. Breathe.
Anyway, you know why? Because men don't want it. And if men was okay with it and was cool with it and that was sexy to us, trust me, women would do it. But it's not.
listen, no,
sexy.
no, no,
It's
Some
not
women
sexy.
do.
It's not sexy.
The whole
Real quick.
reason that I even posed this question.
It's not sexy to you.
I'm gonna bring it right back. I promise.
98% of the men don't find you don't
You
find it
can't
sexy.
say
But
that.
you just
No,
said
do you
so.
find
You
it
just said
sexy?
90%.
what
That means
sexy?
that there's
Haven't heard-
10% and
girls
10%
with bodies.
The
some.
whole reason I brought it up, and I asked that because this legitimately happened to me like maybe a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago.
kissed the bitch with a
Where-
mustache?
No.
And he like,
Why would you put that in the atmosphere? Like, my wife.
No holds barred.
No, because people are gonna think about my wife, and no, she takes care of
No,
herself.
no, no. Maribel,
Anyway,
she's
you
not
see?
hairy.
Oh yeah, so you're gonna
She don't
fix
have no
it,
face
fix
hair.
it.
She's
Anyway,
she's
You're not invited over on Saturday.
I had a conversation with. I was having a conversation with a woman. Very good conversation, and all of a sudden she was wearing a tank top. All of a sudden she decides to go fix her hair, and in the process of doing so, it like the underarm hair just like popped out, like
lost
it
the
popped
powers.
out. Like there was inches there. It wasn't organized. It was like, yo, like this is just
Oh, she had nappy hair.
all,
she had
all
nappy
it was
underarm
straight
hair.
all natural. Nothing was done to it. And from then on, like I had to work to maintain eye contact because like I was flabbergasted by what I was.
You
what
wanna
I was
investigate
and-
that?
But she kept doing it though too.
Bitch, you
So
nasty.
like my
Winter
immediate
is over.
my immediate thing was like I wanted to look. And I don't know why. I don't know because I was just so taken
Because it's not
like,
something
all
that you see
taken by
every
it.
day. Listen,
That-
ladies.
I think that's what. But like literally, like you, all right, everyone I think has had that one conversation where they like really are working to look at the person in the eye, and like to the point that they're afraid to blink. In the process of blinking, like the eye is gonna divert.
Molly.
Yeah, and you know, and that's where that question came up because like at
She's
some
nasty.
point
We'll call her
that has to
Harriet.
be, why are you laughing so
Call
hard?
her
Because
Harriet.
I know what you're feeling when once you see something you can't unsee it, and you're
Yes,
just
you
like,
can. And on top of it, it didn't match her hair color.
Oh man.
It was off-putting. It was off-putting.
Shave
So-
your body.
So that's
Like,
that's
men
where
don't want that shit.
this came up. Like
Dang.
it
Yo,
was
he's about to get
awkward.
a
I
lot of
felt
hate mail
awkward.
right
And
now.
fellas, trim your balls hair every once in a while. It could be once every
alright.
2 months.
It's not weird. It's just like just Manscaped. Like you just everyone knows what Manscaped
like
is.
you
Put it like that.
don't
Like, trim
shave.
your ball hair.
You don't need shaving cream. You just trim it. Get a little low. It's like cutting grass, fellas. We
It-
cut
it-
grass,
it can
fellas.
be-
You
there's a
maintain
special
your lawn,
shaver
you
for
gotta
that.
maintain your
There's
shit.
a special
I would
shaver
never
for
buy
that.
like a specific like ball shaver device. I would just
it
buy
exists
the
so
So it
you don't
doesn't
catch
nick
it.
the balls.
Put that
Yeah,
like
so
on
you
one.
don't catch that shit, bro.
No, you gotta be
That's-
super careful. You gotta
That's
Yeah.
get
And you gotta-
do the
wait,
tie
alright.
in a knot thing, and you know.
Baby, you were gonna say something
You get
before, and
it.
I cut you off. I'm sorry. Wait.
John was just speaking some real facts. He was just speaking some real facts. Like, damn, I gotta put that shit. I should put like a one on this. You know what I mean? I'm kind of nervous
I'm
on the
gonna
zero.
taper my shit.
I'm kinda nervous
I want
putting
it
that shit
long
on
right
zero.
here, but
Fade.
I want the short.
I
right
really
there.
don't need
Faded.
the specifics of the fade that you gave your fucking sack. Like,
Yeah, ball fade.
it's too
That's
much.
right.
Too
Oh,
much.
yeah.
TMI.
Ball fades.
What were you gonna say, Fabian? Can you get?
Shit, man, I'm
Yo,
trying to
where
think
did this
now.
conversation go?
No,
man?
no,
We're
no,
talking
no,
about
no.
this.
I just gotta touch up one
Two
thing. I know
digits,
you-
y'all.
It got a little weird.
Listen,
It
I
did.
know you're talking about societal
XX,
norms. You know what I mean?
XY.
Like,
Yeah, facts.
you're talking about societal norms, and we don't do certain things because women are attracted to that, and vice versa, or we do things that women are attracted to,
Yeah,
and they do it for us too.
right.
They're saying, "Oh, we're only doing that with the arm hair because that's what it was. That's what that just happened recently. This is something that's going on now, but that's been happening since back in the ancient days. A woman would look at a hunter, and if he was physically fit and was capable of handling himself, that's how she knew he could provide. So she was attracted to that.
That's how women are now.
Women set the
So-
standards for men. Men set the
exactly.
standards for
So that's
women.
been going on
So
for
if I
decades.
say that's nasty for a woman to have a bush under her fucking arms, I'm saying it from a place of love because I love women. Please, ladies, that shit is nasty.
So that means
we
she's
want
just
to like
not trying to
you.
That is
attract
completely
people like
natural.
you.
So then what happens to the one dude that
Every other,
likes
you like
hairy
armpit
women?
hair?
And
That
in
doesn't
China,
mean.
in China,
You just
it was
said
the opposite. Could you believe
90%.
that? Back
That
in
means
ancient China.
10%. Some men do.
Fuck the 10% are the ones that like kidnap women and have them in their basements. Anyway.
You see why-
That happens, kidnapping, bride kidnapping, that happens.
Right now. You're on a whole nother level
Yeah,
over this
hell
hair
yeah.
shit, bro.
Yeah, I'm judging as fuck. I don't care. Yeah, I'm gonna judge. Yeah, absolutely. I'm judging. No, I'm here to be judgmental and all of that shit. I'm not
The
here to
contradiction came out
Dude,
hard
I
with
don't
you
give.
tonight.
Listen. One thing I will tell y'all about me, I don't give a fuck. And this is not coming
Well,
from
we
an
know
evil,
this.
bad place. It's like I will contradict myself. I will say y'all niggas is nasty for having armpit hair. I will say that shit. I'm not trying to here to please everyone. Like, fuck that. That shit is nasty. None of y'all here is gonna tell me you trying to play devil advocate. That shit is fucking nasty. None of y'all would want a girl that didn't shave her legs, that didn't shave her armpit hair, that had a fucking goatee.
But I ain't gonna
Look like
judge
Kawhi
somebody
Leonard.
based off of that, though.
Stop. Huh?
I'm not gonna judge somebody.
No, I'm judging you
off of that,
because
though.
stop. That's not what we do.
Nobody's
no more.
saying that though here.
No, we're judging you. No, I'm sorry. In 2019, we judging
No, I'm saying nobody's saying that.
Make America judge again.
gonna
We need
be-
to go
we're
back.
Yeah.
Nah, dead ass. No, hear me out. Hear me out. I think if we went back, to shaming people,
This shit just got like,
if
yo.
we went back to shaming people for the dumb shit that they do, we would have more accountability in this fucking country and less dumb shit.
That speaks to what we were
Shame
talking
them.
about earlier,
Shame.
hypersensitivity. You're not allowed to shame anymore.
No,
Game of
but
Thrones
well, you're
reference.
telling
Oh,
me
you want to start throwing rocks at people
No,
and shit.
I'm talking. You don't watch Game of Thrones. They rang the bell and shamed Cersei when she walked her ass naked through the fucking thing because of shame.
But
right?
she needed to
My
shame.
point is, I don't want to
You
hear.
just are happy to
I don't
see
want to
the
hear the
shame.
bullshit. I'm being judgmental. Oh, you shouldn't judge me.
But she-
Man, fuck them people. Them girls who got armpit hair. You're nasty.
I
And
don't
yes,
listen.
I'm
I
judging
don't.
you.
I don't agree with this whole shaming
listen,
thing.
I'm judging.
on a personal preference, no. Do I want that? Absolutely not.
No, I'm judging
No,
you. You're nasty.
I don't want hairy legs.
Groom yourself,
I don't want
nasty.
hairy armpits. I don't
Fucking
want a
hippie.
mustache. And I mean, I would like a bare But JJ,
Right,
That's
okay.
that is my personal preference. But I'm not gonna sit here and call somebody nasty over it.
But nah,
you know
you're
what? Like,
nasty, and chances are, if you're a girl,
no, because you know why I say that. All
Yo,
right,
John,
like,
you
take-
are part of the problem, bro.
I'm being part of the problem, nigga. I'm an earthling. We're all a part of the problem.
This is why people. This is why girls have mental health issues.
Man, fuck this. And I'm
No,
just saying, fuck.
You are the
Alright.
reason
And
why.
listen to me,
And this is why
fuck
we're gonna
those
have
girls.
mental health issues.
If your
Because we're
mental
just
health
gonna go
issues
what they
stem
wanna
from
do, and
having
if we don't
long,
like it,
unarmed
fuck
hair,
us
then
up.
I mean, you just might as well
But
end it all
but
now.
But
nigga. End
it, all right,
Fuck
it goes back to what you were like. Why can't it just be like, be you, whatever, do it by yourself? Like, why does it have to be judgy though?
Because
Like,
I think a lot of other things is
all these
nasty. And I'm
fucking
just not saying it here because I
standards.
want this podcast to go somewhere. I think a lot
all
of
right.
shit is nasty.
So you know what's funny? You
And
know,
I judge a lot of shit.
the-
I keep it to myself most of
I'm
the
gonna
time.
tie another contradiction.
I'm here.
I'm gonna tie another contradiction on John right now.
Go for
This
it.
nigga said he don't have no expectations of anybody, but he's expecting women to shave their underarm hair.
And you know what he's gonna say? Well, I'll contradict myself.
Right,
all the
right.
time.
I'm a walking. Humans are a walking contradiction.
I was
It's
about to
okay.
say that, or in
And
John's
for-
word, I'm
for
a human
those-
contradiction.
For those who haven't heard that
Oh, so
podcast,
y'all
that
don't-
was episode
so y'all don't
one.
like my reasoning?
Excuse me.
I don't care.
I'm trying to throw a hot shout out. Can I get this out? That was
No.
episode 1. Stripper litter for those of you who haven't heard it. So go back to that
Shameless
and listen to
plug.
it a little bit. Now go ahead with your
My
continued
point is-
rant
I
unnecessarily.
mean,
Why?
again, expectations. Man, fuck those. I don't care. Like, you're telling me that as if that's gonna have some kind of effect on my
You don't
social
care what?
psyche.
You don't care what? What are you
If
talking about?
I said
He doesn't
last,
care,
if I
yeah.
said last week that people shouldn't have expectations, and now this week I'm saying I expect women not to have hair, I don't give a fuck if you point out the contradiction or not. My point still stands. It's nasty to still do that.
Yeah, but-
okay, John, contradiction.
Listen,
Nah,
listen, it's
it's
content.
fine.
Yes,
It's
it's
nasty.
content. It's content.
It
Pointing
is
out the
content.
contradiction is
still,
content.
It's still nasty. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. Yes, and last week I did say don't have expectations. And yes, this week I'm expecting females to shave their fucking arms.
Yes.
You fucking
Yes.
right. You fucking right. Is there a problem here? I don't see the problem.
No, I think-
there's no problem. There's clarification.
Okay, yeah. I mean, duh.
All right.
I think
that's
I
it.
think the
That's
outcome.
it.
I think the what we came to though was the outcome, not to attach yourself to the outcome. So
Yeah.
he can have his expectations all he wants, but whether or not it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fuck with you if I met her and she was like, hey, but I'm really hairy. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to, I love you, but you're nasty. Like, you need to handle that. I'm sorry. Sorry if I smell like, y'all know after we done
No,
play
you gotta
basketball.
respect it though.
No, if we play y'all know how our boxers and shorts we smell after a full game. We been playing 5 full court games of basketball, all the salt. You know
Fabian,
what I'm
don't make
talking
the Fabian. Wait, time out. Fabian was the first one to make a noise, and this nigga don't never play no full game of basketball in his
That
life.
shit, I'm just picturing that.
But
That shit
yeah,
is
but
nasty.
my point is,
I know when I go to the gym and I
Fuck
come
outta
after
here.
that shit.
Y'all
That
know-
shit
y'all
is
know
The
this
closest thing to a full game of basketball you
By the
played
way,
might have been
Nick's
on
got
like a
third pick.
basketball video
Right.
game, nigga.
But we
Fuck.
all know,
Nah.
we all know the
Basketball.
sweet smell.
And I don't even
the
wanna play
sweet
that
smell
shit.
of our
I was
salty
not good at it.
balls. We know.
Do we?
We expecting a girl just to accept that shit. Well, it's my
She
salty
better
balls.
accept that.
Well, you better
I mean,
deal with
not,
it. Like,
not for nothing, like, kinda.
No.
All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna end it. God, that was nasty,
What?
bro.
Not to it, but like,
Yo,
all
we
right.
really took 2 lefts on this conversation,
No,
bro. Like, we went left and
All
then
right.
left again.
All right. I know for a fact, and this is not my wife, but I know for a fact that there are women who appreciate a sweaty man and like that shit. That shit gets
Yeah,
them
but if she
hot.
But I
putting
don't
the
know-
sweaty
I don't
balls
know
in your mouth,
what-
like she don't want to
Oh,
sleep
no.
with that.
That's what I was about
All
to say.
right.
That I don't know
There's a
women who's gonna
difference.
go and say,
But
yeah,
hey,
listen,
no
you just
judgment
fucking came out the
zone,
gym. Let
right?
me
No
go suck on
judgment,
your
right?
nuts. You know what I'm saying?
Like, but now you smell like ass, sir. Wash your ass, like,
Yeah,
but no
no, that's
judgment. Like yes, yes, I expect you to wash your ass. Human thing, like I don't expect you to look out for me or save me if I'm drowning. I expect you to fucking wash your body though. Like human things, to shave your body parts, certain that need to be shaved. Yeah, I expect you to do those things.
I don't know.
I expect
kinda
you to brush your teeth. I expect you to put paper to your
that's
asshole
different,
after
yeah.
you poop. I expect you to put soap under your arms. I expect certain things. Like I expect that. Yes,
Go
wear
ahead,
deodorant.
Fabian. Say that.
If one of y'all niggas didn't wear deodorant, don't be
I mean,
mad
I
like
had-
John. You shouldn't
I
have
have no problem with,
expectations. I'm gonna flame you.
Like I see, I see that.
Wear
freaking-
deodorant.
I see that sweaty chick at the gym though. Like that shit just.
Nah.
I mean, I don't know how you
Yo.
like.
Nah,
she
you're-
got that like that glisten on her
Nah,
and
you're
shit, and
crazy.
she's like squatting.
Yo,
Nice.
I don't know, man.
I wish I just took a picture of the motion that Fabian just made.
Fabian's the type to look for subcategories.
He just got so like small and compacted. Do it again. I want to take a picture of it. Do it again.
Just
Yo, can I tell you
she's like she's like squatting and shit. And she's like she swears she got like now like
No, not what she does. Like how?
like I don't know.
You belong. Sound like you belong on somebody's list somewhere. Like, I don't know who's. I don't know who's
That's
list
like
you need
not
to be on,
perfect.
but
It
you
was like
need
my
to be on the
feelings.
list.
What you about to say, Jonah?
No, I was actually gonna ask a question to the audience. So everyone who's actually who's listening
At this point, who's still listening to us at this point?
They stopped a half hour ago.
If you enjoyed this episode and last episode, let us know whether or not you would like for us to have a roasting podcast. I think that'd be actually pretty funny.
It's too early for that.
Is everybody?
I still like you guys.
I don't know, nigga.
It's too early.
I'm ready for
We
it.
don't gotta
Joe.
take that
I don't
serious.
know. I'm ready.
I'm ready
You know
for
that's
it.
what I do.
I'm probably gonna need some weed
Yeah,
for that though. I ain't gonna lie.
No, I will.
I might have to get a little lit too. I might have to drink a
But
little.
yeah,
We're gonna
that's
have
when-
to get here early. That
that's
might
when
have to be
shit
like a
comes out.
weekend podcast.
Just in
Yeah.
general,
We
anybody
need to be able
listening,
to get like.
just in general, if y'all have ideas, some things that you want us to hear to speak
Talk
about,
about.
let us know.
What?
Email us.
You know,
All out.
and we'll throw out another question also,
Uh-huh.
because this really turned into like a pretty intense conversation.
It did.
Okay,
It did.
what I'm gonna word it like this. I think what should be or what are your maintenance requirements for whomever? I mean, we
For
were
who you
talking about
fucking? Is that
the
what you're saying?
LGB.
Yo, by the way, we
forgot-
love
I
Just
forgot
say
the
for the,
acronyms.
listen. And
For everybody, what for the person you're going to be with?
why you gotta
what-
do it like that?
What?
Listen, audience, for the person that you fucking, what you
But why
need
they gotta
to-
be fucking them though? They might not be fucking them.
What do you need for the person that you're fucking to like be clean? Like, what you need them to?
What are
shave?
your maintenance requirements for them?
Yeah,
How's
he's being very.
this
it's
whole
like-
fucking thing, bro.
very-
I'm
just
so
say-
I
just say-
feel more confused than when we started.
I feel you. Listen, ladies, are y'all shaving your assholes? What's going on here? Let us know.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
that don't think that women don't bleach and shave their assholes.
But I don't want to know that specifically. I just like
Why
like,
not?
what.
That's a part of
just
maintenance.
throw it all
All
out there.
right, so throw the maintenance like in general. Like you expect a guy to shave his bush.
What's different between bush and asshole?
But it's just so specific, and it was ladies. Ladies, you
Yes, because ladies are usually the one that has their asshole eaten, so they're the ones that have to shave and
pause.
bleach
That's
their
not true,
asshole.
man.
That's
There's
not
some
true
men who
either.
actually
See,
like
now we
that.
get
Yeah.
into some
Well,
other. All right, can I ask a question?
Fellas,
Can I ask a question?
Fellas,
Can I
if you
put
get
this
your
question?
asshole eaten, guess what? You like dudes.
No.
Wow, what a jump, what a jump. What a jump, what a jump.
Pick this up on next week because this is all right.
What a jump, what a jump.
The question is going to be for the person who you're with. What are your maintenance requirements? Let us know on Facebook and on Instagram at Alpha 5 Podcast. Or I mean, if you're feeling froggy and just want to email it because you're feeling a little,
Yeah, if you got a long
shameful
paragraph,
or whatever, you can email us at alpha5podcast@gmail.com.
Facts.
We appreciate y'all listening at this point because this shit got different.
It went.
Yeah,
I'm
left.
gonna call it different.
This episode got
It
crazy
went
real
left
quick.
real quick.
I think we started slow. And we're ending in a good spot, and we'll probably likely pick up at that whole asshole bleaching part. Okay, so until next week. Again, thank you for listening. I'm here with Ray, John, Jonah,
What's poppin'?
Fabian.
What up?
I'm Frank. We appreciate you again, and remember, we're all alphas at something.
Peace.
Cuz.
Let's go Knicks.